The nation was Union. The region was Guidance. And that is about as low as I can go in terms of geographical terms today because we're going to be talking about units outside of Neils Harbor, away from the island of Substance. These were Marine units from different sections, and one is even from a different country, the nation of Thodor, which borders the Guidance region and Union, of course, to the south. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. This is actually a boat unit which I've modified slightly, which means I have to rise up here. I'm going to go way up, try to make that as steady as I can. And there we go. We can see, I'll push this back, I shall push this forward, and literally tower over it. You see searchlight, a couple of Marine policemen. In the back you can see some black debris, maybe I can put a little light on there. As you can see, flashlight, handcuffs, maybe a radio, essentially equipment box. But otherwise, this of course is the unit from set 60045. I loved that set. I love this boat. I wish I could have used it more. Its original plan was actually to put it right beside the Coast Guard boat and run it directly out of Neils Harbor. I just wanted to do that so badly. Couldn't. It just didn't fit that a boat this small would be running out of there without support. It wasn't necessarily needed to make the videos work. It was one of those things that it broke my heart to edit this lovely piece. It's one of the best uses of this particular Lego hull, which got used a lot in their sets. But I just loved the look of it, and I wish I gotten to use it more. But unfortunately, it was not to come to pass. I even disassembled the trailer and the truck that comes with this set. But I just love these big honking engines in the back. There just wasn't anything not to like about it. And in the end, I didn't get to use it. So, but I just wanted to sort of show you that I had prepared for there being a Marine unit called sort of Marine Unit 5, if you like, that was in the north. And it would have just chugged all the way down to Neils Harbor and ran out of there. But in the end, I guess I thought it was best to keep it in its fictional base to the north. There was another Marine unit, of course, number 7, and finally, of course, right out of November, there was Marine, not November, my apology, Charles Harbor. This was section 1. This ran out of sort of the bottom part of Rogan Island. That's part of section 1. There's a Marine unit there too. You can kind of see a diver, a police Marine diver being prepped in the back. Somebody's driving the boat. Crewman moving through the front of the boat. I'll give you a clue as to the set origin, which most of you being efficient Lego people already know that would be 7287. But I thought it also better just to make a little number on the front of the boat. I ripped off a license plate. I just wanted it to be not a life preserver, which didn't make any sense to me. Why would you put a life preserver that near the hull where it would obviously get kicked away by waves? Nothing against the person who designed this set, but I was trying to make them look as realistic as possible. And I in fact used this in the rescue video as the idea that the regional police force, state police force, provincial police force, again, I reiterate that again and again, that this would be involved in a rescue operation. So that's that boat right there. That was part of the Marine Empire, if you like. That is my lamp. And I'm moving that all along. And finally, I loved this boat as well. This was set 60129, much later. I just like the fact that the police uniforms were changing. I love that giant searchlight. I liked the economy. I liked the shape. I liked the dark black contrasting colors. That 02 has nothing to do with a section. That is a totally different country, and it's run in a totally different way, but I just sort of left that on there. It's not from section 2. It's not a provincial boat, but I'm pretty sure I don't even think I got to use this one. I built this great Marine force for all these Marine scenarios, and then in the end it just wasn't going to happen. So again, I can sort of kind of do this as proofs. Here's a car from section 1 from the city of Bingham. It's one of the supervisor cars. Nope, it's just a straight patrol car. There's no 6 on it. But he might have been traveling with the forensic unit that I built. And I've got my forensics team up there, also from Section 1. And you might be saying, oh, you know, what set was that for? Well, I just took the chassis from 7498 and I just modified it for my needs. But I like the idea that, you know, in case I decided to run a big crime scene in Neils Harbor. But it was a very friendly video series, and I didn't want to get murder and drugs and negative things involved, so didn't end up using either of those units either. This guy made a shot. This is a Substance City police car. Again, there's a guy in there with a different uniform. I like there being a different set of number. This is patrol number 32. They have a totally different number system from the regional force. And I just like that it was just, well, dressing for the set, really. So I got that one going, and I enjoyed using that. It was from the forestry sets, I do believe, from way back when. Way back in 44-36. When they were doing the forestry series before they revamped it and revamped it again and again and again. And finally, I bought this set, which was even from Section 3, which was just a big paddy wagon in case I needed to do massive arrests. And then I found out that this ran into one of the major problems of me doing shoots with Neils Harbor: scale. Love this truck, love everything about it. Just a wonderful, wonderful set. Lots of equipment, lots of place to put the bad guys. And it's the size of a football field. Massively scale-wise. You're looking at this truck here, and you're looking at this truck here. And there are big trucks, or bigger vans. I understand that, but it was a story. It was a building story. It was just too big, and I ran into that in many sets where I thought, oh, I love this set. But it's dwarfing a jet airplane. It ended up not being used. But I was trying to show that there are different police units from different areas helping out Neils Harbor, because Neils Harbor was a small town, and they would have to call in things like a forensic unit or a more sophisticated wagon in terms of equipment, or taking people away to jail, and being assisted from other regions, and that there were municipal police forces. Not everything was the white with blue trim, that there was some blue with white trim. Not a big change, I admit, but I was just trying to represent that there was more going on with the police than just those things. One last little treat, and I think I'm going to have to put the camera down for this one. This is going to be difficult. Oh, crash, boom, and the slight earthquake there. There we go. I'll just put that over like that and move him around a little bit. And there we go. And just stick my finger in there. How's that? That's perfect. That's perfect. There we go. So I'll pull all these vehicles away. Excuse my fingers. And here we go. Excuse my arm. Excuse everything. I even created a section that actually showed up in one of my videos. And I might have described it, of course. And this is literally set 60116. And you say, hey, now, wait a minute. That's an ambulance set. Yes, it is. And what I did was I built the set exactly to those instructions by simply changing a few red pieces to blue, which is, you sort of see the blue wingtip. Instead of a red wingtip, you can see the blue stripe along the side of the plane as opposed to a red stripe along the side of the plane. Put a few police decals on it and made myself a police plane. Police planes, not common. Huge, massive police helicopters, not common. But I did like the idea that this was part of a hinterland patrol plane that protected wildlife in the north, that out of a small airport in Dupuis, sort of, I would say, east and a little bit north of Neils Harbor. There's actually an airport there with Coast Guard aircraft and rescue craft, and that the police actually run out of that airport, and the mechanics sort of help take care of the plane. And there's actually Section 6, which is a local police department nearby to help support this unit. But it was sort of a sharing costs in terms of surveillance, enforcement of the islands, make sure that people were not destroying the protected wildlife up there, to make sure criminal activity wasn't happening up there. So I built that plane just because it was fun, and it ended up again at one of the airport scenes when they were doing the air show, and I just stuck it in there. But when I started building all these things, before I started shooting, I built everything, and I wanted to make sure that I had everything for every contingency because I was never sure where the videos were going to go or how I was going to shoot them. So that would be why I built it at the time, was just in case. And I really enjoyed the build, and it was just for fun. And sometimes I did terrible things like that where I wasn't just working, I was actually having fun with my Lego. I know I'm a bad person. But that's the end of it. That is the police. It is massive. Thank goodness that the fire department is not quite as complex. There's quite a few mocks maybe. But fortunately the fire department is mostly vehicles. And when you come to things like forestry, that'll just be, here are all the sets, and they're all straight sets. It'll be a really short video. 12 seconds for you to look, and then I'm going to turn off the camera. So we'll get onto those videos next, I guess. But I got a lot of cleaning up to do, Lucy. But I have taken down the airport. I've taken down the city of Substance, which is not the island of Substance. I've explained that before. I've taken down the residential areas. I've taken down the local grocery store, the Quickie Mart from The Simpsons. And I've taken down the police station. And I've taken down the town. All the creator sets are gone. They're all stored in the basement. And soon we'll be coming up to some other mocks that I've made. Probably hospital and transit and gas stations and eventually Coast Guard and things like that. You want me to end the video? Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's it for police, folks. See you in the next videos.